Hello everyone! Welcome to this new lesson in the CSS Animations course. In this lesson, we will learn how to create this nice preloader animation. You can see we have three squares and they're moving like they're chasing each other. I want you to take a close look at only one of them, and you will notice that each one is just moving in a regular path, actually a path of another square. And they all move in the same path. The only difference is that all of them have a different animation delay property, so they're moving one after the other, creating this chasing effect. So let's start creating that. I will start here in my HTML by adding a div and giving it a class of loader. Then inside that, we will add three spans, and those are the three squares that create the preloader. Then I will go to my CSS. First, I will target the container div, which has a class of loader. And I will add width, 150 pixels, height, 150 pixels as well, position, relative. Then below that, I will target the spans inside this container div. And I will add position, absolute, width, 50 pixels, height, 50 pixels as well, background, white, and finally border radius, 4 pixels. So now you can see we have a square with a height and width of 50 pixels, and those are actually three spans that are sitting on top of each other. Now let's work on creating our animations. I will go to my CSS and create a new animation and name it Chase. Then inside it, at 0% of the animation duration, or at the start, I will add top, 0, left, 0. So this means the squares will start at the top left corner of their container. Then below that, at 12.5% of the animation duration, I will add top, 0, and left, 50%. So now the squares will move to the right by 50% of the container width. Then below that, and at 25%, I will add top, 0, left, 50%. So you can see the values don't change from 12.5% of the animation duration to 25%. And this is because we want the squares to stay in their place for a little while before moving to the next position. This will just make the effect look nicer. Now, I will pause the video and add the other stages, then I will explain what I did. So after 25% of the animation duration, we added 37.5% and added top 50% and left 50%. So the squares will move from the top right corner to the bottom right corner, then stay for a while in that place until we reach 50% of the animation duration. And below that, at 62.5% of the animation duration, we changed left to 0 again. So the squares will be at the bottom left corner of the container and stay in that position at 75%. Then they will return to the top left corner again at 87.5% of the animation duration and stay in that place until the animation finishes, and they'll keep doing that forever. So let's go up here inside the span selector and add this animation. I will go right here and add animation, chase, 2 seconds, linear, and infinite. And now when I go to the browser and reload, you can see the squares move in a square path, and they all move together, so they're appearing as one square. Now, in order to make them appear as three separate squares, we can use animation delay to do that. I will target the second square by going right here and saying span, nth child, 2. And I will add animation delay, 0.7 seconds. Then I will copy that, paste it again, and target the third square, and add animation delay 1.4 seconds. And now, when I go to my CSS and reload, you can see the three squares start moving one after the other, giving us exactly the loading effect that we were going for.